They tried to kill him. They held his family at gunpoint. He was forced into exile, but he still refused to stay silent. Why? Because in the Democratic Republic of Congo, war is fought on women's bodies, and one man decided to fight back. Not with guns, but with a scalpel. This is the story of Dr. Denis Mukwege, the doctor who repairs women and demands justice. Denis Mukwege was born in 1955 in what was then Belgian Congo. As a boy, he often accompanied his father, a pastor, on hospital visits praying for the sick. But one day, after watching a woman die in childbirth because there were no doctors to help her, young Denis made the decision. He wouldn't just pray for the sick, he would heal them. He studied medicine in Burundi before specializing in gynecology in France. He could have stayed abroad, but Mukwege returned to the Democratic Republic of Congo to serve the women who needed him the most. Mukwege's path took a horrifying turn in 1996. He was working at Panzi Hospital when war erupted. Militias stormed the hospital, killing patients and doctors alike. Mukwege barely escaped with his life. It was a turning point. He had seen firsthand how women were being targeted, not just killed, but brutally violated. He realized he couldn't just be a doctor. He had to be a defender of justice. In 1999, in the middle of the war, Mukwege founded Panzi Hospital. He expected to deliver babies, but instead he found himself treating thousands of women, some as young as 6, others as old as 80, who had been brutalized and raped by armed groups. Panzi Hospital became more than a medical center. It became a sanctuary, a place where survivors could not only heal, but rebuild their lives. But healing wasn't enough for Mukwege. He began speaking out, naming names, calling out warlords, and even accusing the Congolese government of failing to protect its people. And that made him a target. In 2012, armed men stormed his house, held his family hostage, and shot his security guard dead. Mukwege fled into exile, knowing that staying meant certain death. Even in exile, he didn't stay silent. He stood before the United Nations, demanding justice for the women of the Congo. Then, in an act of defiance, he did something unthinkable. He returned. Mukwege's courage did not go unnoticed. In 2008, he received the UN Human Rights Prize. In 2014, he was awarded the Sarkov Prize for Freedom of Thought. In 2018, the world finally took notice. Mukwege was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. He used his speech not to celebrate, but to call out the world's indifference to the suffering in the DRC. This Nobel Prize is not for me, he said. It is for every woman who has suffered. Mukwege's impact extends far beyond Panzi Hospital. He has trained doctors across Africa in reconstructive surgery for sexual violence survivors. He has lobbied world leaders to take action against war criminals. His voice has shaped global policies on women's rights in conflict zones. At home, he is a national icon, but in a country where power is built on silence, his enemies are never far away. Dr. Denis Mukwege is more than a doctor, a man who has chosen to stand when others look away. But his fight is far from over. Because as long as women suffer in silence, as long as warlords use rape as a weapon, Mukwege will keep fighting. one surgery at a time. Now here's the question. Why does the world allow conflicts like these to continue? And why is it that those who stand for justice, like Dr. Mukwege, are often left to fight alone? Let's talk in the comments. And if you believe in telling Africa's untold stories, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more.